Hey guys, Vas here from Aussie RC Playground and welcome to another unboxing. Today we're going to be unboxing the ARRMA Fury two-wheel drive short course truck, and yes, it is brushed. That is not a misprint on brushless. They haven't misspelt it. It is in fact a brushed two-wheel drive short course truck. Now this guy apparently does 30 plus miles an hour. Comes out of the box completely ready to run. He's waterproof, of course, and has the Mega brushless system in it, as well as a 2-year warranty, which I would encourage you to read up on to make sure you know exactly what it covers. Now, why did I get the ARRMA Fury two-wheel drive brushed? Quite simply because at the end of the day, I host an RC review channel, and sometimes I don't get things that are necessarily for me. They are sometimes for you. And what I mean by that is that there are people out there that are interested in certain products, and sometimes I get them just to see what they're about, how they perform overall. Now, this guy is very much an entry-level RC, and of course, not everybody has deep pockets. We don't always have hundreds of dollars to go out and spend on big, expensive RCs, which is great if we all could do that. But unfortunately, not everybody does, and sometimes people are a little bit intimidated by those products, especially if you're starting out and you want to know what would be a good entry-level RC. And I think this falls into that category. Also, even if you do happen to have really expensive RCs and you're not really keen on this, think about somebody else. You know, there's always a nephew or a son or a cousin or somebody that could use something like this on their birthday or Christmas. It's not a very expensive RC to get somebody, and this could be a perfect option. So let's look inside the box and see what this guy is all about. There's some specs here on the side of the box, a picture of the chassis, the motor, steering servo, the D-boots tires, waterproof receiver box. Also has a little picture there of how you load up your battery, which is of course from underneath. And it has a picture of the diff, which is all metal gears as well, which is nice, and it's oil filled apparently, so good. This is what the guy looks like out of the box. Now, for those of you who don't know, the chassis on this guy is actually the same chassis used in the Raider XL, which is that guy over there. So theoretically, you can actually convert the short course truck into that buggy, or vice versa, if that is in fact what you want to do. The difference is this one doesn't have the metal plates on the side of the chassis that one does. So it's a little bit more of a simplistic design, but very much the same thing, if that makes any sense. Anyway, remote is the ATX 100. I think I've got about a dozen of these, maybe close to, I would say. I've had plenty of these, obviously, and they have never failed me. I've been very, very happy with these remotes. Drop-down wheel with a nice foam surrounding on it, a collapsible antenna. It runs on 4 AA's, which is great. Also has a removable tray, so you can plug in rechargeable batteries if you want. On the back here, you have your usual trimmings, which is your steering trim, throttle trim, and it even has steering dual rate, binding button in the middle, a couple of reverse switches, and the on and off switch is on the back here. I can say this just straight away because I've done these so many times now, but a great remote nonetheless. Out of all the ones that I've had, I've never had any of them fail on me, so very, very happy with that. In here, there's also a charger. Now, this is your standard sort of wall charger. It does come with a T-plug connector. I'm not going to call it Dean's because unfortunately I haven't had too much success with these T-plugs from ARRMA. The springs on them always seem to flatten out and sort of open up, and then I end up with batteries coming unplugged. So I don't know if they've addressed that issue yet or not, but yeah, at least you got, it's not a Tamiya plug, which is great. There's also a bunch of different adapters here for different countries. So if you do buy this and you're in a different country from where the truck came from, don't worry, you're still going to be able to use the charger, and it's not going to cost you any extra to get adapters for your wall charger, which is obviously a great thing. All right, so let's get the truck out of the box real quick. We'll pop that aside, and underneath the truck there's a bunch of stuff here as well, which I'll go through with you. With you very quickly. Opening up the bag, first thing in my hand here, we have a couple of servo horns. Looks like some servo mounts, some preload spacers for your shocks. So not a lot of stuff, but there is some stuff there, which is fine. Basic tools, we've got a cross wrench, a couple of Allen keys, so good, not bad. And binding plug for your remote. We also have a little bit of a speed chart, miles on one side, kilometers on the other. And this has different gearing. It's going on about the BLS and the BLX, which is the top of the line brushless system from ARRMA. So this gives you a bit of a guide on the speeds that you would expect. And it's even got part numbers for different pinions and all of these different upgrades for you to get up to those speeds if, you know, speed is your thing, if that's what you really want to do. So great that they've included that. Obviously means that they've done a little bit of homework on the speed of the truck. What else we have in here? The usual warnings, batteries, ESCs, that type of stuff, which it's important if you're starting out to read through some of that, or if not all of it, because you don't want to be making any mistakes. Full parts exploded view on these ARRMA manuals, which is fantastic. A lot of instructions here on how to service and work on the RC, different suspension setups, some information about the radio, about the ESC, lots and lots of good information here. So very much suited for, you know, your beginner crowd who have very little or no experience with RCs and they want to know a bit more about them. ARRMA have, you know, obviously done all their homework and supply you all the information there. Here is the truck itself. Can I just say, for the record, that I really like the look of this truck. The back of it looks a little bit strange. Normally, you know, with short course trucks, they have more of a sloping type of look here. This one kind of almost gives it a flatbed on the back. But aside from that, I really like the body design itself. It looks fantastic. And I don't mind the color scheme either. Very, very nice. Taking off some body pins very quickly. There's only 4 of them, which is makes life easy, I guess. Pop those aside. Let's take the body off. Wow, feels a bit light. The little sort of side fins here, these are actually plastic, they don't look to be Lexan. They feel like they're plastic, and they are in fact screwed on. So there's some bolts on there. You know, it's a fairly sort of basic ready to run body. Hopefully it holds up to a little bit of punishment until such time I'll need to replace it, but should be fine. I think it feels a little thin at the back and on the sides, but up top here actually feels a little bit stiffer, so nice. All right, let's pop that guy aside. Let's talk about the truck a little bit. Now before I bring it up to the camera, let's just have a feel of the suspension here. I'm impressed. I like it. I like it. Very nice. Plastic body chocks with preload spacers, plastic shock caps as well. But it should be okay. For the type of RC that it is, should be fine. I don't see too many problems with this. I'm really liking the suspension. Sorry, I'm just playing with it at the moment because I'm really quite enjoying the suspension on this. Feels really nice and plush. It just feels nice. Again, it feels well dialed in. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Okay, tires. Okay. Okay, tires. Let me try and describe this to you. The sidewalls feel a little stiff. The actual tread itself feels a little hard. The foams feel kind of medium. I think this is more designed for longevity as opposed to grip. That's my belief. But even being a brushed vehicle like this, which doesn't have a lot of power compared to brushless, these might work perfectly fine. I don't know. I'm not going to call it just yet. We'll see how we go. I'll take it out to the track, of course, and we'll do some runs and just see how it performs overall. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's a very nice slim chassis design that you can see here. And then of course we have the battery underneath, which is sort of got a body clip that holds this little pin in place. You pop this guy out of the way, and if I can get it out, there we go. And then you just open up the tray and there's your battery. Battery included is a 2000 milliamp nickel metal hydrate, whatever. And yeah, I think it'll be fine. 2000 milliamps, it's not too bad. At least it'll keep you going. It's not a huge battery pack. It does have a great big block of foam down the bottom here, which means that you can get longer packs. So you probably can even run a 7-cell nickel metal hydrate battery pack in here, which is pretty cool. It looks like, yeah, everything's in check. So we can close that back up. The servo is kind of wedged in here, just in there, and this is the overall chassis design. So there is our ESC. Now the ESC uses these, what I think they're called jumpers. So basically, if I can get this out of the way here, and I'll just see if I can get the camera to focus in, please. There we go. All right, so you can see this here. By shifting these guys from left to right, either one or the other, one of them will switch between nickel metal hydrate and LiPo batteries. The other one will actually make it only go forward and brake as opposed to forward brake and reverse. So depending on how you want it set up, you can move these guys around. So they just slide out like that, and then you can slide them into the other two pins. So I've lined them up now, and I think like that is actually Lipo mode. So there's some instructions, a little diagram on the bottom there. You read that and you'll know exactly what's going on. So very simple and easy way to change your ESC from one battery type to another. In case you're wondering why you need to do that, it's because LiPos need to have a LiPo cutoff, whilst your nickel metal hydrates do not. So by switching that around, you can run a LiPo perfectly fine, and once it reaches to a certain voltage, the ESC will know shut down and your car will switch off, or at least slow down, so your battery doesn't over drain. With your nickel metal hydrates, that's not necessarily needed, so you can switch it back, back and forth depending on what batteries you're using. Waterproof receiver box at the back here, antennas kind of sticking out of this little antenna tube, brushed motor on the back, of course. It's got really nice kind of cute mud flaps on this. Good thing about these mud flaps is that they don't actually touch the wheels. I've had other short course trucks, namely my Pro SC at the back there, where the mud flaps are so big that they get caught up in the wheel, and a lot of the times I end up running with the mud flap kind of caught up like that, which is a bit of a nuisance. So these ones aren't too long, which is nice. It's got a standard plastic gear cover on the back, but it does not have the little kind of removable little cap on the side here for you to adjust your slipper clutch. So you will need to remove the cover in order to adjust your slipper clutch on this guy, which I believe it has a slipper clutch. I hope I'm not wrong about that. Now it does have standard metal dog bones on the back, and your camber and toe links are solid plastic. They're one-piece plastic, so there's no adjustable camber or toe on this guy. Although you may adjust your toe, sorry, you may be able to adjust your camber at the front, just not in the rear. From what, oh no, hang on, I lie. There is another adjust, yeah, you can. It's a fixed position though, but the hub carrier on the back actually has another hole for you to put your little metal ball for your rod end to go into. So you can actually bring this guy and give it some negative camber if that's what you want to do. Very, very nice. The truck isn't very heavy at all. You do have adjustable body posts as well. Got a little metal brace on the back here for some extra strength. On the rear, adjustable body posts on the front as well. This is a good thing because, of course, once you're done, trashing the stock body and you want to get another body for it, say you get something from Proline or J Concepts or something like that, you're actually able to adjust the height of these to accommodate the new body design or style that you go for. So that's very, very cool. Really nice beefy front bumper with a bit of flex to it. So if this guy takes a hit, it's not going to, hopefully not going to break. So that's nice. It has a bit of flex, bit of give. I'm actually very impressed with the suspension overall, to be honest with you. Very nice. Nice short course wheels on here, all black, and they have a nice design to them, so I'm happy with that. Nice beefy sort of Nerf bars on either side of the body. It's just, it's an ARRMA vehicle. I've been getting a lot of ARRMAs lately, and the reason why I get them is because I've been so happy with them. They've just been so good. So all ball bearings all the way around. So nicely free spinning wheel on there, which is fantastic, of course. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's only two-wheel drive. It's a very basic design. It just doesn't have those metal plates on either side, but of course you can get them if you want to add some extra strength to the overall chassis of this truck. And I think, guys, that is where I'm going to leave it. Let me see if I can put the body back on without too much fuss. Oh yeah, there we go. Easy. Very nice. I'm actually really liking this. You know, brushed vehicles, I have a soft spot for brushed vehicles even today, 2015, I have a soft spot for brushed vehicles. And the reason is because when I started this hobby, that's all I used to use. There was no brushless. I'm old school. I used to have a lot of brushed motors, and in fact, I still do. Have some brushed motors lying around, some very expensive brushed motors and brushed ESCs, in fact. Believe it or not, I spent a lot of money back in the day buying a very expensive 9-turn and 10-turn brushed motors just so I could go really fast and get some really expensive ESCs and all the rest of it. So when I see a brushed vehicle, some people will go, I don't want that, it's not brushless, so what would I want with that? But for me, if it's balanced correctly, if they do it for a specific application and it works, as long as it's not super slow, which I don't think this is going to be, I think they'll work just fine. And you know, for somebody that's starting out and wants to get used to the hobby, doesn't want to spend a lot of money, as I said at the beginning of the video, something like this may actually be a very viable option. Having the big bumpers, the big body on it is always a big plus, because any tumbles, any flips, any rolls that you do, there's a lot of protection on the you know, more vulnerable parts, such as body posts, A-arms, shocks, links, all of these things. There's a lot of protection on here. Whilst if you get a buggy, sometimes, you know, you're more susceptible to get bigger damage when you have an accident, because all your wheels and everything is fully exposed. So this is, you know, short course truck is a good beginner's RC, I think, anyway. Let's hope that this one actually stands up to my testing, performs admirably, has some good speed, and is fun to drive. Because at the end of the day, if it's not fun to drive, you know, that's where you kind of got to draw the line a little bit. So I'm really hoping that this is fun to drive, even with the brushed motor. But enough waffling on. That is it from me, guys. Please be sure to check out the video description for more information on the truck, as well as a link to my Facebook page. Don't forget to hit the like button on the video before you go, and of course hit thumbs down if you didn't like it, and I will speak to you guys next time. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm out. Bye.